Hi everyone. Have you ever wondered, I'm sorry I'm messing this up. I don't know how to start this.
You messed it up prematurely?
I prematurely messed it up.
Guess what this one's about? Premature ejaculation.
We've had several people email in asking for help with this. How do you deal with it?
I'm Reid from readaboutsex.com.
I'm Cathy from theintimacydojo.com.
And we never miss up by the beginnings of our videos. This never happens.
Never.
So first off, we're being silly because we know that this is a really charged subject for a lot of people.
For both men and women.
Men and women. And so, please don't mistake our levity and sense of jackass-ery that we don't think this is important. It's totally important. And at the same time, getting more freaked out and frustrated about it is probably what's not going to help.
Yeah.
So, at some point, as human beings, we all need to start embracing our foibles, and that sex is kind of awkward and doesn't always go well.
Our bodies don't always obey.
Yeah. So that being said, take a deep breath. There are lots of courses out there online and whatnot that you can take that will help you work through things around premature ejaculation. My basic advice for folks is, for men, is that a lot of us have grown up practicing self-pleasuring and masturbation.
I'm trying to hurry.
Yeah, we try to hurry because we're, maybe you grew up in a family that had a bunch of people and you only had the bathroom for 5 minutes. It was the only alone time you had. Or, you're in the middle of, doing a bunch of stressful work stuff and you just want to change your body chemistry. And so you go and you jack off. And this goes for women too. So one thing to look at is if you're somebody struggling with premature ejaculation, do you actually masturbate, 0 to 60 and try to get it done with as quickly as possible? That might be part of what's happening is you've conditioned your body to get excited and to go as fast as it can. One of the things that you can do is practice masturbating
slower
in a whole different way. Explore your body, pay attention, to how your arousal state changes. And get a little bit more self-awareness, almost like if you were in a hang glider, you're trying to soar and kind of cruise those erotic thermals, rather than like a bow and arrow, shoo, to your target. The next thing you can do around exploring issues of premature ejaculation is this kind of concept called what I like to call erotic momentum. If you're pleasuring yourself or with a partner and your arousal is kind of at a 5 and then at a 6 and then you keep going, it's ooh, ooh, ooh. It's at a 7 or an 8 and you're oh my goodness, we're at a 9, and 10 is that, the wine barrel goes over the side of Niagara Falls and there's no coming back. If that's a 10, there's a big difference between me, having sex with somebody and going, or masturbating and going 5, 6, 7, 8.5, 9, versus 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's been my experience personally when I'm excited and I go from 5 to 9 really quickly, it's hard for me to pull back. I have no braking distance. It's I'm driving too close to the car in front of me, if you know what I mean. And then they put on the red lights and I'm bang! So this idea of understanding erotic momentum and kind of your braking distance, getting a sense of what your braking distance is.
And you can play with going from 5 to 7 to 5 to 8. You just play from going up and down.
The other things you can explore and think about is the kinds of sexual positions for you. There might be some sexual positions that create less stimulation. Still feels good. If anybody wants to have sex with me, I'm winning. But the idea of positions that might create less sensation for you that brings you to orgasm. Because there's lots of other sensations that feel really great that aren't quite bringing me to ejaculating.
Yes.
Fourth thing you can do is wear a condom. if you're not having condom sex, and as a safer sex geek, I think most people should be using condoms. But if you're in a situation where you're having fluid bonded intercourse or oral sex or whatever that looks like, try wearing a condom, because lessening the sensation can be really, really helpful in delaying your ejaculation. I personally, I love condoms for that reason, because I'm very sensitive and I get super excited. And then if you're really excited, I'm really excited. And then, So you can try putting on a condom, different kinds of condoms. Thicker condoms might be better for you. I have some friends who will sometimes double bag it and put on 2 condoms to lessen sensation. Do not put on 20 condoms. That is not healthy. And it's a waste of good latex, which you can use later. So you could explore that. Last but not least, I would recommend purchasing a fleshlight, and I'm not paid by that company to sponsor, or say anything about them. But basically, fleshlight is a masturbation sleeve that I like a lot, because the base is about 3 or 4 inches round. So when I'm humping it, it's putting pressure on my pubic mound and around the base of my cock in a way that feels a lot like when you're fucking somebody. This is really useful because other masturbation sleeves that people use, and that I've tried, don't give me that firm grinding sensation on my pubic mound, because they're not wide enough. So that gives me a really good idea or sensation of what actual humping somebody would be and feel like. And so I actually recommend, it sounds silly, but stick your fleshlight in the cushions of your couch. Don't do this if your roommates are going to walk in, or your parents, or anything, but actually hump your fleshlight on the couch, because now you're also using your pelvic floor muscles and your body in a way that simulates sex, rather than your hand, which doesn't simulate sex. So the fleshlight practicing is really useful for you to practice your breaking distance, all these other things about sensation in a way that actually is engaging your body a lot like sex would. And then the last way to do it is get your partner, if you have one, or a really good friend, to actually let you practice with them, going really slow. And it's okay if you come too soon when you're practicing, certainly, because how else are you going to get it right? And
that's a good way to put it. If you're with a partner and he's premature ejaculating, try not to. It's not about shame. It's happened to me, and I've actually been kind of flattered that the sex was so hot that he came right away.
Sex is hot sometimes. It's hard to not come sometimes.
And then kind of framing it hey, I would have loved to have more time to play with you. It would have been fun. And making it a game even, rather than a shame and having to hide.
Yes. So we'll end on this. It's a joke. It's a very funny story that I heard. A friend of a friend had been away from his partner for several months. And then they were sexting and getting all hot for each other. They get back together. They jump into bed immediately. He sticks his dick in her and comes in a minute. And he jumps off her and yells, "I won! I won! I won!" and runs around her, takes a victory lap around the room. It's not a race, but sometimes, don't be so hard on yourself if people come too soon. And try these little things to see if they work. And let us know your thoughts, because we know this is a very charged subject for a lot of people.